They said cats don't form deep bonds with each other. They're supposed to be solitary, right? But what if I told you about two cats who defied that belief, and how one act of bravery changed their world forever? This story might break your heart, but it's one you'll never forget. This is not your typical story about cats chasing mice or lazing in the sun. It's about an unbreakable bond between two unlikely friends, brought together by chance and torn apart by circumstances beyond their control. One of them had to make the ultimate sacrifice, and it left an impact that would last a lifetime. If you've ever doubted that animals can feel deep, emotional connections, this story will change your mind. Shadow and Luna couldn't have been more different. Shadow, a sleek black cat with piercing green eyes, was the neighborhood stray. He had never known what it felt like to belong. His days were spent wandering alleys and rooftops, scavenging for food wherever he could find it, and dodging danger at every corner. He had learned to live without anyone until Luna showed up. Luna was the new cat on the block, a beautiful calico with soft, warm fur and an innocent look in her amber eyes. Unlike Shadow, she had been a house cat all her life, loved and cared for by humans. But one day, Luna's life changed when her family moved away, leaving her behind. Abandoned and scared, she found herself on the cold streets, completely out of her element. When Shadow first saw Luna, curled up in a corner of an old, crumbling building, something stirred inside him. He wasn't the type to care about others, let alone a soft, pampered house cat. He had survived alone for so long, why should he care now? But then he noticed something. Luna wasn't just scared, she was trembling, her eyes wide with fear, and her belly sunken from hunger. Shadow should have walked away. He was used to minding his own business, and this wasn't his problem. But something made him stay. He watched her, unable to move, as if drawn by an invisible force. Over the next few days, Shadow found himself returning to Luna's hiding spot. At first, he didn't know why. Maybe it was because she looked so helpless, or maybe it was because he saw a part of himself in her. The part that had once known what it was like to be cared for, to be loved. Luna barely moved from her corner, too weak to even look for food. That's when Shadow did something he had never done before. He shared his scraps with her, a half-eaten fish he had found near the docks, a piece of bread someone had tossed out. He didn't understand it, but every time Luna ate, he felt something strange, like he was no longer alone. As Luna grew stronger, their bond deepened. She started following Shadow on his daily walks through the neighborhood, her once timid demeanor replaced with a sense of trust. They became inseparable. At night, they curled up together in an old, abandoned shed, finding warmth in each other's company. For the first time in Shadow's life, he wasn't just surviving, he was living. Luna, too, had changed. She had gone from a frightened, lost kitten to a curious, adventurous cat, eager to explore the world with Shadow by her side. Together, they faced the challenges of street life, dodging dogs, finding food, and navigating the dangers of the city. They were a team, and they made each other stronger. But as the days turned into weeks, something shifted. Luna started to slow down. She was quieter, her playful energy fading. Shadow noticed the change, but he didn't want to believe that something was wrong. He had finally found someone who made him feel alive, and the thought of losing her was too much to bear. One night, Luna didn't return to their usual sleeping spot. Shadow searched everywhere, panic rising in his chest. Hours passed, and still, no sign of her. His mind raced with worry. Was she hurt? Had something happened to her? Finally, as dawn broke, he found her. Luna was lying in a small patch of grass near the riverbank, her breathing shallow and her body weak. Shadow rushed to her side, nuzzling her gently, trying to wake her up, but she was too tired to move. That's when Luna did something she had never done before. With the little strength she had left, she lifted her paw and placed it on Shadow's, her eyes locking with his. In that moment, Shadow knew. Luna was saying goodbye. He stayed by her side all night, refusing to leave. He lay next to her, wrapping his body around hers, trying to keep her warm. But by morning, Luna was gone. Shadow's world shattered. He had lost the one creature who had made him believe in love, in connection, in something more than just surviving. The streets felt colder now, emptier. Everywhere he went, he saw Luna. The corner where they first met, the rooftops they used to climb, the shed where they had slept. She was gone, but her memory was everywhere. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tales of love, loss, and the unbreakable bonds between animals. Let's keep sharing stories that remind us of the beauty in the connections we form, even in the most unlikely places.